Hello to my Geminis. Geminis, let's get right into your reading. Let's get right into your reading, Gemini. The moon is in a gibbous moon in Cancer. As we get closer and closer to this full moon, your ruling planet Mercury is going to go retrograde on the 15th of March. So communication is going to be key to many different forms of communication. How people communicate, whether they're communicating via telepathy, all the clairs, using psychic abilities, however people communicate to you during your dreams, daydreams, night dreams, all of those things you want to document before your planet goes retrograde so that you're already on top of things. We have a full moon in Virgo, a worm moon. It's also called a blood moon too. This is originally a moon about rebirth, going through a rebirth on the same day as a total lunar eclipse. So you'll be totally letting go of some things. I start each day with a positive attitude. All right, let's get into it. Let's get a angel number. Let's get an angel number, and we're gonna go ahead and let's get an angel number. Let's get an angel number here. An angel number. Let's get an angel number out here. So something you will be completely letting go of. 818, infinity. Life is a never-ending loop. 1 year, one cycle in your life is ending, but another is beginning. The shift can feel catastrophic, but it's the natural way of things. Be on the lookout for other signs coming your way. Your communication with your angels is strong right now. Draw another card with an intention of receiving guidance in your next steps as the current cycle ends and the next one begins. So you've ended something. And what's the saying that people say? Child, you want this cycle to be a good karmic cycle. In other words, dharma. You want it to be something where you are aware that you have closed out. You don't want to look at it as like every time I turn around, something is trying to come up against you, whatever the saying. I don't even remember what the saying is. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, though. You don't want to look at it in a negative way. You want to look at it in a positive way. It's like, okay, closing out cycles in love, and I'm moving on. You have someone that you love that's in between two karmics as it is, right? And so the best way for you to handle a situation is to pray for them, not to pray on them. Like, how come they can't see it? How come they don't know? You really want to go into prayer warrior mode because you got two energies. You got a person that's in between two karmics that is threatening some kind of legal action against you and them. Just so we're crystal clear, right? Legal action between you and this, a fire energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, right? Here we have 740, new connections. Keep an open mind. People are showing up in your life who reflect the goals that you've been putting forth into the universe. Meet them and open yourself up to what they have to teach you about life and yourself. Demonstrate that your heart and mind are open to new connections by following up with a new friend at some point today. In other words, there's some energies, karmics, who are threatening you and somebody with some kind of legal action, right? And so somebody is almost feeling like they're being bullied, right? So they feel like they don't have a choice, right? They don't have a choice because they're looking at things in a physical sense, right? But you as a prayer warrior have a choice to pray that something is closed out by your throat chakra, by saying something in your throat. So what you're doing now is drinking your water, eating food with high water content. You're flushing all of these toxins out, no emotional eating, drinking, all of the other stuff going on. You are becoming more and more enlightened as this moon is moving through these zodiac signs and just how you communicate and getting to your 10th house, your north node, right? So that you can, 7 and 4 is 11, get off the fence, become enlightened, and recognize, that there was two energies who were just a bad risk, two karmics in your life that were just a bad risk. And you looking back now like these were karmics that now have somebody you love in between these karmics bullying them. So A bad risk could have been, still talking to energies that you saw were just a bad, still being kind to these energies that you saw. Like I said, you can be kind, but source is saying something and you should just stop just going along with the flow. Something should have said to you, okay, you need to cut these two off. You need to cut these energies off. Because somebody was determined. Somebody was determined to put you into a state of confusion. And the spirit of an energy who was determined to put you in a state of confusion actually told on themselves, right? Now somebody is feeling overwhelmed being around these wolves in sheep's clothing. So the nature of the energy that exposed it. So let me show you how it can come in different forms. You can have a loved one that's around male friends that, it can be, it doesn't matter what the gender is. I'm just using it for an example. You could have a loved one that's around male friends that have put them into some kind of a dangerous survival mode situation that in hindsight, now that you're in hermit mode, you could be in hermit mode, you're getting all of these downloads. It could be a woman, you could be a man, it could be your ex-wife, ex love interest or whatever, and they're around a bad company. Now somebody is threatening you and somebody with some kind of legal action because in your mind, this is why you want to make peace with being a prayer warrior and praying for energies. Because in your mind, you're saying in hindsight, I should have done more to stop just going along with the flow and just keep talking to certain energies. I should have stopped. I should have snatched that loved one away from these energies. Say, what is, like, grabbing them by, not assault, like y'all know what I'm saying, not physically shaking somebody, but basically having a real firm talk with them. Like, these energies, you recognize the type. They up to something. They up to no good, and they're getting you mixed up in some mess. This could have been your husband, your wife, your whoever, right? So Source is trying to teach somebody now in prayer warrior mode. Somebody is being bullied, doing something they don't really want to do. So they need your prayers. They use the opposite sex to show you something about the spirit. So if let's say, for instance, you have a brother or a husband or uncle or some man in your family that is hanging around some energies who you can tell is prideful. They openly are disrespectful to you because they don't care. By this time, they've already done something. They're hanging over your loved one's head, right? That same spirit can show up in a woman that's disrespectful to you because they doing the same exact thing to your loved one. And you're sitting here like this they got the same spirit, two physical bodies, but they're battling the same demon of pride. So they don't feel like they need to be respectful to you. They have this prideful demon that has already done something to put somebody in a survival mode. And now they're hanging something over your head and somebody else's head. In other words, they're basically saying, we know some people that's close to them that we can do something to hurt a loved one, put them in a survival mode situation. Now stuff is starting to click in your brains and you start to say, oh my God, let me go start praying for some people. That they get off the fence and that they are enlightened and get away from this foolishness and these bad risks. Hopefully this is helping somebody. You have a lot of ideas, and the first idea is to pray. Pray and to meditate, because somebody was determined to put somebody in survival mode, even though they've been in survival mode since they were a kid. Somebody that you love was in a relationship, friendship. When I say relationship, it's not always romantic. Was in a relationship with somebody who was determined to tell some kind of lie to put somebody in survival mode, and you can't physically go kick down a door and snatch some sense into somebody. So you're saying, I'm going to Source, the creator, to get these energies away from these familiar spirits. So you don't have to be depressed because somebody felt like they need your strength. They really need your strength because they now feel like they don't have anywhere to turn to. They need your strength. So there you go. To get away from these karmics. So that once they get away from these karmics, they're never going back. Never, ever, ever going back. Yeah. So start thanking source right now that somebody is coming to their senses. They're in a poisonous environment where there's a lot of sex involved, there's drinking, medication, or well, y'all know what I'm saying, right? And these energies, they haven't gotten away. These two energies, they haven't gotten away from. So it's a fire sign in it. Somebody used a fire sign, that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, to lure somebody into something, a loved one of yours, to put them in survival mode. And they got a backing of an entire organization to do it. And it wasn't that difficult because you kept telling people, get away from certain energies. God physically moved y'all into a nicer house, a nicer neighborhood, a whole different geographical location. They could not, in their stubbornness, they kept going back geographically to these spaces. It's like it wasn't clicking for them. So the best that you can do at this point is to pray. Somebody's moon sign is Taurus. Somebody's moon sign is Taurus. So you surrender to source. Your hands are thrown up. You surrender to source. So what information do you have for me, source? All right. What information for my Geminis? What do I need? What does Gemini need to know, source, about their current life path? What lessons is the universe trying to teach my Geminis right now? And how can Gemini align more with their true purpose? You have psychic abilities, and people are waking up, Gemini, to your psychic abilities. You can tell when people are lying to you. You can tell when people are in danger. You can tell when people are scared, nervous. You can tell when they feel like they have low self-esteem, when they're in the presence of narcissists. You can tell all of those things through their emotions. That's how you're connecting with energies, right? So your psychic abilities. And so sources saying, how can you align more with your true purpose? And this is where your confidence level comes into play. This is where your confidence level comes into play. So that you're not confused. Initiate conversation. So when you told that loved one, hey, those don't seem like they really your friends. Or you told that loved one, why does your friend feel so comfortable being disrespectful towards me? And they sat there passive. They had already done something to them to make them scared to stand up to you. They had already done something. At that very moment, you going into prayer warrior mode. Source is giving you some time because you're on the top of the wheel now to get into prayer warrior mode. Because I guarantee you, once they get away from these energies that's been holding this sexual past over their head and all of this stuff that they experimented with this and experimented with that, these energies that's been holding this over their head, once they get away from these energies, like when they get away from these karmics, I guarantee you they will never go back. They will never go back. Why? Because they see how much sacrifices you made and how you poured into them. You'll even hear when you talk to them on the phone. You talk to them on the phone, they pause. They hoping that you will say, okay, I created something to just take you away from all of this. Because again, they looking for somebody to save them from something. So start thanking source in advance. Them two didn't get away with anything. The devil is in the details. We're talking about the minor arcana here. Yeah, they constantly use them as a pawn. Constantly use them as a pawn. And it was their stubbornness that got them into it because they would not stay, no matter what you told them. These energies right here, peer pressure. They constantly use them as a pawn for something. To start arguments with people. Oh, I'm going to use such and such against you. Every time you talk to this loved one, tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you love them, constantly. If you love them, tell them. I don't care how many arguments they try to start with you. I love you. I don't know what this is about, but I'm praying for you. There you go. Keep your vibrations high because your wishes are being fulfilled. Because what they're getting ready to do is surrender to source inside of them, the living water. That's a wish fulfilled for you. That's how you can't save somebody, but that's how they are going to walk away from these karmics fearlessly. They're going to walk away from these karmics and be like, you know what? I'm tired of being used as a pawn in a game. I'm tired of being used, abused, mistreated, treated like I'm dumb. They're going to get tired of all of that. That is how you're fighting back. That is how you're fighting back. Tower moment. And you're divinely protected. You have nothing to worry about. These energies hate the fact that you're a prayer warrior. But they can't do a thing about it. And that's not arrogance. You just know how to see things from a higher frequency. Another gift of yours. You have a guardian angel that has your back watching you. You know how to see things in advance. These energies right here made somebody feel like they were safe to talk about some things when it comes to music, when it comes to, you see this music note right here, when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to trying new things in a whole 9 yards. Somebody says something, conversation went a different direction, blah, 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 blah. Source is saying to you, these energies have used this energy, this loved one, as a pawn in everything they could, because they are gathering dirt on them to control them. And so source is saying you operating in your light, they weren't the same type of a spirit energy, couldn't hold you back. Could not hold you back from operating in your purpose, because you made peace. You've gone through a dark night of the soul. So yeah, you could have been married 10 times. They still couldn't hold it over your head. You could have 15 kids by 15 different moms or dads. You could be a man or woman. These energies could not hold, because you're saying, you know what? They all came from source, a creator, right? You still have purpose on planet Earth. You still know that source created you with a purpose. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, right? Psalm 139:14. Source is trying to tell somebody, you're praying that they see greatness and light in them and stop being used up till they can't be used no more. In other words, the moment people started believing in themselves, it started exposing the toxic people around them. So when you're at a crossroad, sources say go straight into prayer. That's how you're going to take the high road. Not, well, I got to take the high. I'm just going to let people disrespect me. No, you're not. You're going to take the high road. You're going to turn around and walk away. That's going to be your action that you're going to take. You ain't cussing nobody out. You're not going off. You're not threatening anybody. You're like, you know what? Let me hold my peace. I'll use my air for things that I want to expand. I'm not using my air, but I'm not speaking to that mess. What I'm speaking to is source. You're not getting into an argument with somebody who can't even recognize that they have temptations and demons and can't put them things under submission. They walking around with a proud banana back. Their back all stuck out like they just the best thing since sliced bread. And source is saying to you, they are being humbled right now. They are being humbled right now. So you can toss something into a burning bowl and move on. I'm telling you, your prayers have been answered already. They have already been answered. 777. Right? This energy is sick and tired of being talked down to and mistreated. And because you prayed for them, I'm talking about you went into prayer warrior mode. I'm talking about going full armor. You went into prayer warrior mode for some energies because they've been talked down to and mistreated in every way possible, used as a pawn in every way possible. Source is saying to you, guess what? Now you have the proper partnerships coming across your path because you went into prayer warrior mode. Nobody playing with these demons. And you're not calling a person a demon. They're just a host. You know, the creator created them for greatness, just like the creator created you for greatness. That's why some of your wishes are being fulfilled. There's overflow happening for you. Overflow, because you're not putting hands on somebody. You're not cussing somebody out, going off, acting like you just don't have any sense in your head, like you overtaken by demons. You're not acting like that. You just letting the tower fall while you having a total recall of these energies. You having a total recall. That's right. Yeah, when I let them into my house, I saw how disrespectful somebody was and how you had a loved one that was saying it like they was in a trance, like they did not even hear or see. Matter of fact, they argue with you because you saw it. So somebody has the gift of sight also. You saw what they didn't want you to see. But that demon wanted you to see, look how much control I have over your loved one. I can tell them to do anything like a puppet and they'll do it because I got some dirt on them. They tried that mess with you, you went straight into prayer mode and they got hit upside the head with a tower. So yeah, you got new connections that's coming across your path that know you're not a fool. Somebody did some kind of an animal sacrifice too. They told us these energies to argue with you, to cuss you out, to use your past against you. They did the most to try to embarrass. But that's the thing about people who have done the shadow work and made peace. You're not in a karmic cycle with yourself. These energies are. That's why they had to use somebody that you love to sacrifice them. So you said you want war? Let's go. That's what your energy, that's the energy you want. Let's go. Yeah, you and your angels ride at dawn. Y'all not playing. That's what we saying. That's what you saying. You know, like you ain't running from nothing. You ain't running from nada, nothing. Okay. They ruthless. You free. They want to be ruthless and talking about you slept with this one, you slept with that one, you had this many kids by this many people, you got these many different families around town. Okay, and guess what? You're proud of all of them. You're proud of all your kids. It shows just how obsessed these energies were. Sound like an obsession to me. Sounds like an obsession. You mean to tell me you got all these pictures and all these notes? Wow. Okay. You sound obsessed. These energies thrive on trying to humiliate people. Hey, they were obsessed with you. That's what's hidden in the Tower moment. When you haven't done the shadow work, people are, when they will obsess over, oh my God, I'm having a Tower moment. What exactly are these people going to say? They better bring proof. And that's what they doing to this one right here. This is what they doing to this one right here. This is why every single time you talk to your loved one, you tell them how much you value and you appreciate them. That's why. Because these energies are ruthless. They didn't put them through every kind of humiliation ceremony you can think of. Y'all fill in the blanks. So another one is that we got pictures of Gemini, and Gemini used to be dropping it like it's hot, and Gemini had all these lovers, and talk about men and women. Gemini did this. Gemini was out here, just laying down with anything and everybody. Gemini got 15 different families. All of this going on behind your back, saying that you're responsible for all these diseases and all it, just lying, and telling more lies. These are karmics. These are karmics that know they would not, you would never go back to them if you just would never go back to them. Yeah. So you praying for somebody's strength right now because they are using them up. You praying for their strength. These karmics are using them up to get some dirt on them, to stop them and block them from getting to their 10th house, their north node. So that's how you're pouring into yourself. You're making sure whenever you talk to them, no matter what it is they're going through, no matter what, you poured into yourself and they're receiving the overflow of your compassion. You're receiving overflow. They will be receiving the overflow of your compassion, but you will not be abused. You won't be taking no abusive language, none of that mess. I love you, but I gotta go. You must be overtaken by demons. In other words, lay terms, how you tell people, you must have lost your mind. So, yeah, that's the energy that you're on. But these, somebody is using somebody up for their creative gifts. Just using them up. Everywhere they go, they constantly being used. Constantly. Using them for their creative gifts. Using them for their money. Stealing from them. And you getting signs all over the place. Instincts are the messages from the inner divine. And they're keeping them away from you. So by the next time you see them, you won't even recognize them. You won't even recognize them. They're trying to turn them into something that they are. And so we're crystal clear. If they're not gay, they're going to turn them gay. If they're not on drugs, they're going to turn them into that. They're going to turn them into their demons because they are determined to do that. If they're not violent, they're going to turn them into that. So you wouldn't even recognize them when you saw them. That's why you need to go into prayer warrior mode right now. Right now. If they weren't crazy or need to be on medication and they had clarity in their mind, they're going to make sure they transfer their demons into them. So it's time for you to start opening up some books and learning about stuff. You getting every kind of sign under the sun. This is nothing against any community whatsoever. Y'all know we don't judge on this channel whatsoever against any community. But source is saying to you, when people force people to be who they're not, they are committing spiritual crimes. You trying to force somebody to marry you? You gonna hold somebody over somebody's head if they don't marry you or give you money or help create with you or whatever the case may be? The person doesn't even have a chance to even believe in their dreams because they got to fulfill other people's dreams because somebody is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You going into prayer warrior mode. You're not playing games. It's not about whether somebody's gay or straight, handicapped, likes dating outside their race, same sex, opposite sex, asexual. It's not about that. It's about people who feel like it's their way or the highway coming up against your loved ones. And Source says, no. So you're living a healthier lifestyle. You're living a healthier lifestyle. Be flexible in your methods. You're learning how to be more flexible. Your prayers have already worked. You're safe. I'm telling you, this right here, the Tower card, you're having a total recall of some things. And guess what? You already won success. You're on the right track because you're going directly to the Creator, the Master. So they already decided, hey, if they haven't ever had an opportunity to do it all over again, if they had an opportunity to do it all over again, they even listening to lyrics of songs, if they could just hit a reset button and redo it and come to their senses, they would have listened to you a long time ago. This could be your spouse, it could be your siblings, it could be somebody. They said, well, God, if I had to do it all over again. So they're trying to save up money now to try to get it. But they remember, it's just paper and coins. Money is a form of energy. They're going to have to do it. That's what you're praying for them to have a rebirth. And we have a full moon. We have a full moon in Virgo. And so you're praying that they receive downloads from Source while they're in hermit mode. That they receive downloads from Source that's going to give them the strength for an exodus strategy away from these energies. That something happens and you already won. You already won. Winning. Don't spend everything at once. That's why some people can be so bold up against demons because they've already done the shadow work. So you come to somebody who has 10 different families all over the land who's made peace with it and said, yeah, okay, they got 10 families all over the land. Okay, this Papa was a Rolling Stone, whatever the song say. So it's just saying, that's the person that said, yeah, and I'm proud of all of them. And what? What else you got? What else you got? What else you got? Right? So, yeah, you can let go. You can let go and let God. Let go of negative people and toxic beliefs. Your time on earth is precious. Invest it wisely. Be mindful of who you spend time with. These energies right now this loved one does not want to spend time with these energies who are using them up. You literally using them up. You better travel this amount of time because I need you to do such and such because I got this information to hang over your head. Prayer warrior, pray. Pray for them. So remember who you are. That's right. You carry stardust in your bones, your ancestors' wisdom in your blood, and the whole universe in your soul. Know yourself and nothing will bring you down. Wild and wonderful. Why focus on limitations and realism? Breakthroughs and miracles require no linear explanation of method. Unexplainable and illogical magic happens every single day. You all inspire so many people. It's setting some people on fire mad. Here we have pursue happiness. Never apologize for what brings you joy. Only you understand where you truly belong and where you can find your safe space and follow your bliss. Yeah, a whole new chapter is beginning. Yeah, so when things seem to be falling apart, be aware that things may be coming together in new ways that suit the next phase of your life even better. That's what these energies are learning. You come from a long line of prayer warriors. You are not playing. You're not playing. You are not playing. You don't have to put your hands on people. None of that. You don't have to cuss them out. You don't have to give them a piece of your mind. You don't have to do any of that. But when you go into prayer warrior mode, some stuff starts shaking and moving. People wondering why all hell is breaking loose in their life. They can't figure it out to save their life. But they don't know that because they're overtaken by demons. It just feels good that we recruited another one that we can use up and turn them into their demons. Not your loved ones. So step out of your comfort zone and get in your north node. Get in your north node. Get in your north node. Again, this is a general reading. Take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can go to QueenAmunRa.com and all my information is there. But yeah, it's time for you to step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Sometimes that requires relocation for real, because you need to get away from these energies that love to hold people back. So Source has something for you to do. Like I said, you're creating something. You're creating something for just people in general, where if they feel like it's a safe space to be them. It's something big that you're doing, something real big that you're doing, that's going to help people feel like it's a safe space, for that they don't feel like they have to be bullied, lied to, coerced, threatened, beat up, assaulted, so they can be in spaces where they can just be themselves. So I don't know what Source is using you all to create, but congratulations, because y'all out here #winning. So something having to do with the entertainment industry for you. Something having to do with entertainment, because I'm seeing this music note right here. Something having to do with entertainment. You are not playing with these demons out here in these earthly streets. They have lost all of their marbles. All of them, okay? So you got good fortune coming your way to help you create something. These demons have lost their marbles. But Source is shaking some stuff up. You hear me? Source is shaking it up. So that's what I have for you all, Geminis. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this has been helpful for you all. Like I said, we'll have more videos over on the Patreon side for those of you all who are over there on that side too. But yeah, if you want to schedule a video, a reading, QueenAmunRa.com. So, all right, bye.